Hey, good morning. So I basically wanted to talk a little bit about the StoryBrand 7-part framework. I think most of you on my list are familiar with it. But if you are, and even if you're not, you're going to learn something new because I'm going to not only go through the framework, I'm going to show you a website that does a really good job applying the framework, but with a little bit of modifications. So basically, this is a 7-part framework where you have your header at the very top of the website. We're just referring to a home page right now. It answers, what do I do? You as the business owner, how does it improve your visitor or prospect's life, and how do they buy? And then below that header, there's often a value stack. The next section would be the stakes or the problem section, followed by the value proposition or solution section, followed by introducing yourself as the guide, followed by your products and offerings, followed by a 3-step plan, and then followed by an explanatory paragraph, which is optional. Okay. Sometimes 7 can also be in place of it, you could have a free offer, a download, or something to get people on your email list instead of an explanatory paragraph. So there's a few things you can do with that number 7 part there. So I wanted to show you David Molnar's website. He does a fantastic job of applying it, but he does it a little different. So he is consistent in adding the header and answering those 3 questions. But instead of a value stack, he has a featured in. And as soon as you see these are names the vast majority of people would recognize, which gives him a lot of authority. He does follow it by a problem and then by the value proposition or solution here, nice and clean. And then what would normally happen here is you would have the guide, but instead of the guide, what he does is he invites them again to take action and to follow through with clicking that button. He then follows it up. Instead of following it up with showcasing the products that he has pictures of that his students have done. And this changes, actually. This is, if you stay on this page long enough, it will showcase different testimonials, followed by different images of photography that his students have done that are really good. So it just it's showing them proof that you're going to become a great photographer like my students. Then he follows it up by the 3-step plan. And it's not until after that that he presents himself as the guide. So this whole part of it, and it makes sense because he's showcasing his students' photography. So he wants to put them before he talks about himself. So that's how he does things a little different than that framework. It's still there. It's just reordered a little bit. But the one thing that he does not have on, there's 2 things actually that he does not have on here besides the value stack, is he does not list his products because there's only one product that he sells. And when you click on these I'm ready, let's go button, any of these red buttons are going to take you to his course to purchase. So that's why he doesn't have a section for his products. Then normally, like, also does not have that 7th part where you can have an explanatory paragraph or frequently asked questions, nor does he have a download. He's not really getting people on his email list on his home page. Rather, he invites them, if they're not ready to take action, to read more articles. So one final thing I want to mention about that he does apply that is part of the StoryBrand framework is that in order to keep the navigation menu nice and clean, he puts all the extra stuff in the footer, but it's organized quite nicely too. So there you go. This is a great example of a StoryBrand framework in action. And I happen to know that when David applied this framework to his website, it had a really significant impact on his sales. So there you go. It does work. And I invite you to check it out. It's just davidmolnar.com.